Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Layla. I'm currently going through a few interview tips, and today we're going to be talking about how to stay calm on the day of the interview. I've done a lot of interviews, medical and non-medical, and I've picked up a lot of useful tips on the way, and I just thought that this would be a good thing to record to just kind of get you in that frame of mind for interviews if you've got any coming up. So you've prepped for ages and the day's come and you're ready to go, but then you get this bone chilling feeling, your stomach's in your throat, you just feel like you're gonna be sick. There are a few things you can do to combat this, just small tweaks to your day routine that will honestly make the world of a difference. I get the nerves, I get it. It's a really high pressure environment and you're thinking about how this day could change your life and your life trajectory, and yeah, I mean, it is high stress, there's a lot riding on it, but your frame of mind and simple actions in your morning can really get you in the zone and make sure that you bring your best to the interview. Right, so the first thing, and Becky, if you're watching this, you'll know what I'm talking about. You need to reframe your nerves as adrenaline rather than nerves. Your body is doing all sorts of things while you're kind of going through the motions, and one of these things is this fight or flight response. The hormones are just whirring around your body and you're getting all sorts of side effects, and if you reframe this anxiousness as adrenaline, it's just a normal body function. By thinking of it as a hormone that's just in your body doing its thing, you can start to see how the adrenaline can actually be a benefit to you. So you will shock yourself with the things that you manage to come up with in high pressure environments when the adrenaline is coursing through your body. And I don't know if you've ever had a situation like that. For me, I was at a music festival once and a girl collapsed in front of me and no one was reacting, and my whole body just kicked in, like, what do I know about first aid? How can I get her help? I surprise myself in situations of high pressure, and you will too. So just trust that when the adrenaline kicks in, that's great, that's your body getting ready to go, getting pumped for the day, and yeah, it's gonna serve you rather than hold you back. And I think that is the first tip that I've got. My second bit of advice is to use the time you've got between stations, particularly if you're in an MMI, wisely. So make sure you've got, if it's an in-person interview, make sure you've got your water with you. If you're at home, amazing. You can have whatever you want near you. You can use breathing techniques if that's something that you feel like you need to do to kind of bring yourself down a level. Equally, bring yourself up a level if you feel like you're a bit slumped from a bad station. Do whatever you need to do, whether that's affirmations in order to forget about the last station, no matter how it went. If it went awfully, if it went amazingly, you want to forget about it and move on to the next thing that's coming up and reframe your mind. So in an MMI, you'll normally have maybe like a minute, sometimes two, to read over the next station's activity, and often it won't be more than 2 or 3 lines. So that's obviously not going to take you 2 minutes. You know, when I went to my first MMI, in between stations I was like hopping about a bit, just like very high energy, don't know what to do with myself, and I wasn't resetting my frame of mind, not getting myself ready properly. I really think it was a mistake that I made. By the way, if you want to watch my mistakes that I made in medical school interviews, I will put it somewhere here for you to click on and watch after. Third thing, be hydrated and stay hydrated. So yeah, water wakes you up in the morning. Drinking water first thing in the morning is one of these habits I've been trying to implement in my life, where I wake up and the first thing I do is I like chug a glass of water, and it really wakes you up. And I still normally have coffee in the morning, but if I'm going into something where I know that my adrenaline's gonna be pumping and kind of giving me that energy that I wouldn't have on a normal morning, I don't feel the need for coffee at all. Water and adrenaline are enough to get through. So yeah, I mean, if coffee is part of your daily routine and you feel like you still need it on the day just to kind of have some sense of normalcy, go for it. For me, I don't need that. Also, make sure you're staying hydrated, so keep water with you. Take it to the interview if it's in person, have it behind your laptop if you're doing your interview online virtually. If you're gonna take someone with you, make sure it's someone that knows how to stay calm. Love my mum to bits, but you know, she wears her thoughts and feelings on her face. I think I get that from her. But I definitely stay a lot calmer when I go to interviews by myself, so make sure that's something you're thinking about. I would say even if you're doing it at home virtually, you're probably going to be talking to someone in the morning when you wake up, unless whoever you live with has gone to work, and make sure that person, you've kind of talked to them about. So if you know that you're not going to deal well if someone's bringing it up and talking about the interview beforehand, then tell them a couple days before, you know, my interview is on Wednesday, can you please just not talk about it on the day? Hopefully that'll help. If you've got an afternoon interview, make sure that any interactions you've got in the morning of it are positive interactions and not something that's going to make you more nervous. Curb who you're talking to, make sure you're kind of tailoring your time to only positive interactions on the day of the interview. So I'm not entirely sure how virtual interviews are working this year, whether you are maybe put into a big Zoom room and you're kind of talking to the people beforehand like you're in a waiting room as if it's the normal world and you're just sitting in a waiting room waiting for your interview. But if you have the opportunity, talk to other people. Be that person who's like, hi, I'm Layla, it's nice to meet you. Don't say hi, I'm Layla, because that's my name. But, you know, introduce yourself. Stuff like, so where are you from, or how's the weather where you are? You know, in situations like that where everyone is nervous and kind of tense, not only will it relax the people around you, but it will relax you as well, ultimately, putting everyone at ease. Right, so when you're nervous, you need to pee. The fight or flight hormones make your bladder go from relaxed to contracting, and your sphincter why am I talking about bladder sphincters? Basically, you need to pee. Your body tricks you into thinking you need to pee when you've got high levels of adrenaline. I won't go into the science of it because there's no real reason to do that. However, make sure that you pee before your interview, particularly if you are following my advice and staying hydrated. It's a moment to regroup, take a couple breaths, regardless of where you are, whether you're at home or in person. My 7th bit of advice is to do a morning meditation. So if it's something that you're unfamiliar with, there's an app called it's called Balance, and they do kind of, it's like a daily meditation practice, and they kind of ease you into it and introduce you to all the different concepts of mindfulness and stuff as you go, and you kind of only do 3 or 5 minutes a day. But I would recommend, rather than that, just typing in morning meditation on YouTube and finding a comfy spot, sitting upright and just doing a meditation. I don't know what it is about meditation, it's just so good for your mind, body, spirit, all of it. And I used to think it was a bit airy-fairy. I hope you don't hate me if you're someone that's always been into meditation, but I only found it a couple of years ago, and it's something that I want to start doing daily regardless of my mood. But yeah, if you're understimulated or overstimulated, it just kind of like recalibrates you. You come out of meditation, you're just in a whole new zen, very balanced place. So I can't recommend it enough. I really think that it's just something that on the day of your interview, it's the best thing you can do for yourself, really, or an exam, or any time that you're nervous about something. Whack on a meditation video and just come out lighter than air. If you've tried it and don't like it, let me know, because that's interesting, because I really believe that it's something that would help, that would benefit like everyone. I've still to watch that Netflix documentary on meditation, but a bit off topic, but anyway, we move. The moment you've been waiting for. My 8th tip is to breathe. It seems obvious, but the breath can do so much. It can lower your heart rate, it can really help you just curb the hormones that are flying around you, and kind of that horrible feeling in the pit of your stomach will ease off at least a bit. And I can almost guarantee that if you follow this, right, and it's going to sound a bit crazy and I'm going to seem like a bit of a whack job right now, but just go with it. Okay, so I have played French horn for 9 years, and I played brass instruments for 6 years before that, and there's a few things you pick up when you play a brass instrument in orchestras. So this is like the simplest thing I can think of when it comes to breathing, but the amount that it changes everything. Okay, no, I can't. It'll make your whole body more alkaline in general, which is calming and also has incredible health benefits. When I say your whole body, I mean like probably not your whole body, but not the point. It lowers your heart rate, so when your adrenaline is going absolutely nuts and your heart is just like boom, 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 it'll bring it at least closer to where it normally is. So if you're to take this kind of tempo, you want to breathe in for 4, hold for 8, and then out for probably 8, and then just do that straight for like 8 rotations, let's say. So I'm going to show you one, and you could be sitting there laughing at me and I wouldn't know. And that's the great thing about this, I'm just behind a screen and whatever. Okay, so here we go. Okay, and you need to be pacing it. So when you're breathing in, you need to breathe into your stomach. Make sure it's not like shallow breaths. Like that's a shallow breath. You need to feel it in your stomach. That's like a deep breath. Okay, so if you do that 8 times, I guarantee you will be a lot more relaxed. If you've got any questions about that or anything else, leave something for me in the comments, or you can message me on Instagram. My Instagram's gonna be here. Also, if you're prepping for your interviews, don't forget to check out my interview prep playlist up here. Mistakes I made in my medical school interviews here. If you want to laugh at me and my, moments of embarrassment, go ahead. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.